Today I want to talk about the strategy of clarity. And ironically, the strategy of clarity is very unclear. It's kind of hard to understand, but it really, really matters. It took me a while to understand how much it matters. And the strategy of clarity is that if you're having trouble sticking to a habit, it might be that there's some kind of lack of clarity in your mind about what exactly you're up to. And there's two kinds of clarity. One is clarity of values, and one is clarity of action. So clarity of values is, what is it that you really want? What is it that you're trying to achieve in this situation? And a lot of times we don't have clarity because there's two things that we want. We feel ambivalent, like we kind of want one thing, but we kind of want the other, or something seems really important to other people, but it's not really that important to us, so what are we going to do? For example, here's some common areas where there's a lack of clarity. On the one hand, I want to get more sleep. On the other hand, I want some time each day to talk to my sweetheart, watch TV, and have fun. Or I want to be frugal, but I also want to join a gym. I want to plan for the future by saving for retirement, but I also want to enjoy the present by traveling. Or I want to drink less, but I want to be the life of the party. And so you have two things that you're not really clear what you're pursuing. And so the more you really just think about, in this situation, what is it that you want to ask of yourself? What is it that you want to achieve in this circumstance? And once you have clarity, a lot of times your habits can follow very easily, or you can make decisions that are going to make it easier to stick to your habits. One of my favorite examples of this is this couple that I heard about where they were having this big argument. One of them was like, we need to keep the house clean and comfortable. It's like, it's always messy, it's always dirty, we got to put time into this. And the other one was like, no, we both work really hard. We need to come home and have leisure and have time to just hang out. So they're fighting and fighting and fighting. Finally, they go to couples therapy, fighting, fighting, fighting. Who's right, who's wrong, what should we do? And then finally they were like, no. They quit couples therapy and used the money, instead of for couples therapy, to use a once a week cleaning service. Once they got clarity about what the real issue was, there was a way to solve it. And so clarity is super important. So that's clarity of values. What is it that you want? What's the value that you want to serve in a particular situation? And then there's also clarity of action. And this is the very simple, obvious point that when you're trying to form a habit is going to instill more easily if it's very specific what you're expecting from yourself. So instead of thinking, oh, well, I want to eat healthfully, you say, oh, I'm going to pack a lunch and take it to work every day. Or instead of saying, I want to get more sleep, you say, I want to get at least 7.5 hours of sleep every night, so I'm going to go to bed at 10:30 every night if I'm home. And so the more specific you are about that, the clearer you are about the particular action that you're taking, the more likely it is that that habit is going to form. So whenever you feel like there's like a lack of clarity around a habit, really push yourself to get the clarity, and then that really helps you foster the good habit more easily.